Hey guys, how's it going? Broken Barrels back here today, and I just wanted to make a little kind of a freeform video. I've got some more well-edited videos in the pipeline featuring this stock and that piece of brass, but I just wanted to get something out on the channel in the meantime. So I just went on to Grace USA's new website that they're building, and they now offer you the ability to order individual screwdrivers and brass punches. Whereas before you could only order them in like pre-put together sets, like how those are. And you'll notice I have like a G2 screwdriver, a G3 screwdriver, but Justin, you already have a G2 and a G3 screwdriver. Why would you want to buy more of them? Well, I've had these for a little over a year now, and my G2 screwdriver, as you can see, is pretty clearly broken, and my G3 screwdriver is also broken. You won't really be able to tell until I compare the two of them side by side that the blade broke off in the past, as well as a couple of the other ones. So if my screwdriver broke and then also my punches replaced punches that I had broken in the past with the same punch from the same manufacturer, why would I want to do that? If I just broke all these tools that have only been around for like a year or two on my workbench, all getting used semi-regularly. I don't work 40 hours a week at this workbench. I probably put in about 20 hours a week at this workbench. So why am I replacing tools that are garbage if they break so quickly? Well, I've got bad news for you guys. Good tools don't last forever, and especially in gunsmithing, they really shouldn't. Let me explain that. There is a common misconception going around that has always been around, but I've been seeing it circulate a lot on the internet lately, that high-quality tools should last a lifetime, such as a vise. I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of videos out there of people saying, oh, you spend $400 on a vise and it'll last you a lifetime. Well, maybe it'll last you a lifetime if you use it once a month to like clamp a 2x4 in place while you do some sanding on it or something. Maybe then it'll last you a lifetime, but any auto mechanic will tell you that very few vices should last a lifetime. And for gunsmiths, screwdrivers shouldn't last very long. They really shouldn't. These screwdrivers are specifically designed to not damage screw heads. And because that's basically the judgment of the quality of a gunsmith that's working on something is... Sorry for the cut, I got interrupted. But so basically, a good judgment of the quality of a gunsmith working on a gun is you look at all the flathead screws, and are they damaged at all? Are they rounded out? Are they boogered? What have you? Is the finish marred up? That's a good way to judge how competent a gunsmith is just at a quick glance. And so basically, traditional screwdrivers, like this unnecessarily long one, this is the only regular taper ground screwdriver. And I'm not really going to get into the specific types of screwdrivers here. But this is not a good tool. I paid about, I think, $5 for this screwdriver at Harbor Freight. And this tool will last me forever. I will literally have this tool my whole life, and I will probably never damage it unless I abuse it or misuse it. But that's not because it's a good, high-quality tool. That's because it's designed to be as strong as possible with this taper ground. And versus you see these parallel ground, it's a much thinner shape, and it's never going to damage a screw if you use it properly and you use it in the proper screws. That's also why I have so many. These are all flathead screwdrivers. They're all different sizes for specific different screws. So basically, this $8 screwdriver broke here to save me like a $2 screw from getting ruined, but maybe that $2 screw... Well, maybe it wasn't a $2 screw. Maybe it was a 100-year-old screw with original finish on some military rifle that would have brought the gun's value down by $20 if it was damaged at all. And even if I replaced it for $2, the original value of the gun, maybe that's still gone because some guns have serialized screws. So it's worth breaking this screwdriver every once in a while, every 6 months to 18 months, and then just replacing it with a brand new one in order to have a good reputation as someone who keeps a gun looking brand new. Like this Colt looks relatively new, even though it's like 40 or 50 years old and has been getting worked on pretty extensively over the last couple months. And then, I don't know why this hammer is here. We're not really talking about hammers. Been buying a lot of hammers though. So back to the vices. It's like, this is a piece of junk vice. I think I paid $50 for it, and I know several people that have broken them. And the thing is, though, is that when it comes to vices especially, it doesn't matter how much you pay for it, in my opinion, once you get past a certain point. If you're going to abuse a vice, like if you're going to get a 6-foot-long pipe and slot it over the end of this and jump on it to try and press a bearing or a fitting in with the vice jaws, you're going to break any vice that you buy for a reasonable amount of money. And that's not what this is getting used for. This vice I've had probably 3, maybe even 4 years now, and it's still in really good shape. There's no play on it that wasn't already there from the factory. It gets used fairly regularly, as you can see. I mean, it's kind of holding the place of several projects for me right now. But it's going to last me a long time. And at the same time, I have broken several very nice vices. Can't think of their names off the top of my head, but they were larger, they were beefier, they were more expensive, they were from reputable name brands, and I broke them as like a 16-year-old kid because I didn't know what I was doing with them. And really, don't get mad is what I'm saying when you break a tool. If you're wailing on something with your 80-year-old hammer and the handle rots out and the hammerhead goes flying across the room, don't get mad at the hammer. Don't get mad at all. Maybe be upset that it wasn't oiled properly or finished properly or properly stored decades ago, maybe even before you were alive to use the hammer, and then just put a new handle on it. Because these wood handles are great, and I'm slowly coming around on wood handles on tools. I really didn't like them for a long time, but as you can see, I just made myself a wood handle for my new 10-inch file. I do really like wood handles. They're very comfortable, they dampen a lot of vibration, and we're getting off track again. But I really just want to iterate the fact that don't expect to spend an extra $100 on a tool or a set of tools or pay double or whatever and then expect it to last forever. I love this Dremel. I paid a lot of money for it, much more than I would have for an off-brand Dremel. But I know it's not going to last forever. I know eventually one day that electric motor is going to burn out or the arbor is going to go all squirrely on me. And I don't blame it for that. It gets a lot of hard use on it. I expect it to be able to put out a certain quality of work for me that I need to be able to put out that a lesser tool isn't going to put out for me. I don't expect it to last forever. None of these tools, except maybe that one, like I said earlier, very few of these tools are going to be around when I'm 40 or when I'm 60. And because everything has a usable service life, you can't expect every single Toyota Corolla that comes off the factory line to be around in 50 years. It's just not realistic. And I see a lot of people get upset when their 50 or 60-year-old tool breaks, or like their 20-year-old light bulb burns out, or their like $5 t-shirt they got back in the 90s has a rip in it or something. Everything has a service life, and that's especially true in gunsmithing, because guns have a service life, and firearms only last so long, only so many shots. There's only so many times you can take it apart and put it back together before everything gets so loose and worn out and the finish gets damaged. And the goal of good gunsmithing tools is to minimize the amount of wear that taking something apart and putting it back together does on a gun. Because at the end of the day, the gun is the most valuable thing on your workbench. more valuable than however many thousands of dollars of tooling I have laying around right now. And why should I sacrifice the life of that just because I want to cheap out on a tool that's going to last longer, because it decides it would rather prioritize the tool over the piece that's being worked on? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you're doing something and you're trying to be serious about it and professional about it, acknowledge the fact that it's expensive to put out high quality work, and the work will pay for itself and will pay for your tools over time. It's extremely important to note. And just in conclusion, guys, just don't, this really goes to everyone, not even just my regular viewers of the channel. Like, don't expect a drill bit to drill you 100,000 holes in its lifetime. It's not going to do that. Even if you buy a cobalt or carbide drill, it's just not going to work after a while. So that's my little blurb on tool lifespan. Have a good one.